Good luck. Check 1, 2. Check 1.
Check 1, 2, check. Check 1, 2. I'd like to welcome everybody to 2025 Monroe County 4-H Sheep Show. If we could, get everybody please rise and move your caps. We're very fortunate to have the Wilson family here tonight to do our national anthem.
At the twilight's last, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you so much. I don't wait anywhere.
Check 1, 2.
That wasn't coming. Got you.
Now ready to start with our mini dress-up show. Our minis this evening, we have Prue Frou, we have Ruby Macarat Tap, Alexandria Hall, Brinley Dodds, Leona Fair, and Cambry Robeson. these parents and kids go through a lot to get set up for this. So we're going to ask our queen and her court to go out and ask some questions and get a little more idea of what they are representing. So I will hand it over to Laura Carnegie at this time.
Hi, what's your name?
Cambry Robinson.
Hi, Cambry. What are you guys dressed up as?
Say duck, duck, goose. Who's the goose? You.
Oh, that's very cute. What's your name?
Got Frou here with me. And I'm Carly.
And what are you guys dressed up as?
Tutus in America.
Oh, I love that. And what's your name?
This is Brindley.
Hi, Brindley. What are you dressed up as?
A bee and a honeycomb.
Oh, that's very cute. And what are you dressed up as?
I'm dressed up as a candy and my sheep is a unicorn.
Oh, that's so fun. And what's your name?
Alexandria Hall.
And what is your name?
Ruby Macrat Tap.
And what are you dressed up as?
I am a cop and my sheep is the robber.
Oh, that's so fun. And what's your name?
Air.
And what are you dressed up as?
Organ grinder.
Oh, that's very fun. These are all so cute. Oh. Okay, so my court and I are going to decide on a winner real quick. Okay, the winner for the dress-up contest is, drumroll please, is Cambry dressed up as Duck Duck Goose.
Let's give all these people a big round of applause. These kids they're hot, the animals are hot, so let's put our hands together for them. Start with a breeze. Oh, and first.
Go over there.
Tension in. Tension in the barn. Tension in the barn. I cannot turn it up anymore, so I hope this works. should now be ready for our home farm born breeding ewes. Home farm born breeding ewes. I should have 8 entries in the class. These animals were born on the 4-H'ers farm. We should have 8 entries in the class. Entries being shown by McCoy Vinsel, Bailey Hutchinson, Owen Hutchinson, Megan Wilson, Leona Fair, Orrin Eganoff, Braden Hudoff, and Kendall Zeig. 8 entries in the class, and your class is complete.
Okay, we start out this afternoon with a really nice set of home-bred lambs. And I think the Hampshire ewe that wins the class does so pretty convincingly. She's really the big, stout-featured, stylish, eye-appealing ewe. She's got the most depth of body, the most internal volume and capacity. Comes back really high and wide and square in her hip, really good in her feet and legs, just a lot of style and balance, and probably the best market lamb mama in the group. In second and third, it gets to be a little closer. I'm going to use a Southdown ewe in second. I just think she's straighter and strong in her top line, a real stylish, eye-appealing ewe. She particularly has the advantage of being straighter from hock to ground. The ewe in third, real nice handling ewe, real beautiful fronted ewe, really long and slim in her neck, really flat and smooth in her shoulder, but she gets to be a little rounder out over her dock, tends to be a little more set in her sickle hock, and sets her hind legs under her. And that real nice Southdown ewe again in fourth, ewe that's really long-bodied, really square in her hip, just doesn't quite have as much muscle expression and style as we found out further. Really nice Blackfleet Suffolk ewe here coming out next. Certainly appreciate her size and scale, her volume and capacity. Just doesn't quite have enough squareness of rib, enough depth of flank for me. The next ewe handles really, really well. She's really the firm, fresh, hard handling ewe. Gets to be a little finer feature, a little frailer made. Just like to give her more depth of body. The Tunis ewe here coming out next, really nicely presented ewe. Could have a little more fit on her fleece. But a ewe that's structurally correct, not have quite as much size or performance as we found further. The Katahdin ewe coming out in the class, really a long-bodied, slim neck, really feminine featured, flat muscled ewe, flat shouldered ewe. Just like to make her a little bigger and stouter in order to reach up further in the class. But a really nice set of exhibitors. Let's give them all a big hand.
Congratulations, your class winner and champion home farm born ewe, McCoy Vinsel. Second and reserve champion home farm born ewe, Maylee Hutchinson. Third in the class to Leona Fair. Fourth, Braden Hudoff. Fifth to Oren Eganoff. Sixth to Owen Hutchinson. Seventh to Megan Wilson, and eighth to Kendall Zyke. We now have class number three, a Dorper ewe lamb being exhibited by Cheyenne Lyons. One entry in the class, and your class is complete. There's only one class of the Dorpers, so Cheyenne will be your champion Dorper as well.
Single entry here. This will be our champion Dorper ewe. Really a nice ewe that can stand a lot more competition. Really a deep-ribbed, wide-sprung ewe. Handles with a lot of width and dimension down her top. Like to soften her top up and let her relax a little bit in her loin. But a really, really high-quality Dorper ewe. We'll see her out here again later this evening. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Your class winner and champion Dorper ewe lamb goes to Cheyenne Lyons. We now have an entry, another single entry, our first class of Hampshire ewe lambs. One entry in the class being shown by Leah Stengel.
Again, a real nice single entry, and this ewe could sure stand a lot more competition. Really a good profile, really nice patterned ewe, really straight and strong down her top, really square out over her hip, good in her hind leg, lots of spring and arch to her rib, real uniform in their depth of body. We'll see her out here again in a minute for champion. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Leah Stengel. We now have class number five. We have three entries in the class. First being shown by Emma Hacker. an entry by Carly Naylor, and an entry by Reagan Clark. 3 entries in the class, and your class is complete.
Really a beautiful trio of Hampshire ewes here. And I wouldn't argue with you if you want to swap them around different ways. I think there's a case to be made for all 3. The ewe I'm going to start with is the ewe that shows the most breed character, certainly has the most wool about her head and points and legs. A bigger framed, later maturing ewe. She's longer and more extended. She's taller from shoulder to ground, and really the stylish, eye-appealing ewe. Now, there's no doubt the ewe in the middle is going to raise the mass market lamb. She's the thickest, the meatest, the heaviest muscled, certainly handles with the most width and dimension down her top. Just doesn't quite have the overall maternal characteristic that we find in the class winner, but a beautifully patterned, really good profiled ewe. If you're going to take one home to raise the weather, she'd be the one you choose. And then the youngest ewe, the most youthful juvenile ewe, certainly beautiful fronted ewe, really a long, slim neck, flat, smooth shoulder ewe, really lean and clean in her overall condition. Just a beautiful pattern ewe that doesn't quite has much scale and performance as we found in the top pair, but a really, really nice trio of ewes. Congratulations. If all the classes are going to be this competitive, we're going to be in for a heck of a sheep show. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Reagan Clark. Second in the class, Carly Naylor. And third in the class to Emma Hacker. We do need to save first and second back because after this next class we'll be showing for our champion and a reserve champion Hampshire ewe. We now have class number 6 entering the arena. 1 entry in the class. It's a Hampshire yearling ewe being shown by Leah Stengel.
Good way to end up here. A single entry in our yearling class. A really structurally correct, big-footed, heavy skeleton, heavy structured female. Really, really good in her profile. Lots of volume and capacity. Really uniform in her underline. We'll see her back here for a moment for champion, but really nice ewe. Congratulations.
We are now ready to enter the arena to show for champion Hampshire ewe. From class number 4, our class winner, we have Leah Stengel. From class number 5, we have the class winner, Reagan Clark. And this last class, class number 6, we have Leah Stengel. We're now showing for champion and reserve champion Hampshire U.
Really a nice trio of class winners here to pick your, select your champion Hampshire U. U that starts, the single entry here, the one, the youngest class. Really a thick, meaty, heavy muscled U. U with lots of volume and capacity. Gets to be just a little higher in her loin. Isn't quite perfectly designed off of her hind wheels, but there's a really, really symmetrical, stylish, eye-appealing U. U that won the second class, a little smoother and more feminine or muscle pattern. Doesn't quite have the overall extreme muscle expression that we found in the U right behind her, but a really, really, a U that excels in terms of balance and style and symmetry. Just flat as a board down her top line, really good in her hind legs, extremely long and extended in her neck and smooth in her shoulder, probably the biggest in her frame for her age. And then the yearling ewe, a big, stout, robust ewe, the big-footed, heavy skeleton ewe, has the most spring and arch to her rib, really has a lot of muscle expression, just a really, really good, fundamentally sound ewe. For champion, I'm going to go with the ewe in the middle. Congratulations. We'll go to the oldest ewe for reserve. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Your champion Hampshire U goes to Reagan Clark. And reserve champion to Leah Stengel. We now should be ready for class number 7. Class number 7, we have a single entry in the class. It's a Cathodon ewe lamb being shown by Kendall Zyke. One entry in the class. There will be 3 classes of the Cathodon ewes.
Ewes, and they're all going to be single entries, and we'll see the other 2 here in just a minute. March is really a long-bodied ewe, really extended in her profile, not quite a square out over her top, but really nicely made ewe, really long in slender in her neck, really smooth and flat in her shoulder, nicely presented. We'll see her in a minute. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Kendall Zyke. In class number 8, we have a December 24 Cathodon ewe lamb being shown by Kendall Zyke.
Okay, second you, again, a really feminine, youthful, juvenile you. Not as much growth and development performance as we found in the you that preceded her. We'll see her again in just a moment for champion.
Congratulations once again. Your class winner goes to Kendall Zeich. Now ready for class number 9. Class number 9, it's a Cathodon yearling ewe. One entry in the class. It also is being shown by Kendall Zeich.
Okay, and rounding out the trio is a March yearling. The buckskin doe is really, really long and extended. She's the most level and square out over her top line. Doe that's really deep in her chest and heart, and has a lot of style and balance. We'll see her in just a moment for champion. Let's bring the other two in. And for champion, we'll use the yearling doe, the white doe. She's the most structurally correct, the most elegant in her side view profile, the longest in her top line, and squarest out over her hip. And for reserve, we're going to use the doe from class 1. Doe that is more powerful. She's bigger in her foot and heavier in her skeleton. She has more spring and arch to her rib, but she gets to be a little rounder out over her top and breaks a little behind her shoulder. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kendall, with your champion Cathodon ewe. She won that with her yearling ewe. And reserve champion to Kendall Zeich with her Cathodon ewe lamb. We are now ready for class number 10. Class number 10. Natural colored ewe lamb. We have one entry in the class. One entry in the class being shown by Reese Oliver.
This is our only natural color, so she'll be your champion. But she's very, very deserving, very worthy. She could beat a lot of good ones. There's a really, really good patterned, stylish, eye-appealing ewe, really elegant in her profile, really squared over her hip, good in her feet and legs, really long in her underline. She wins pretty handily. The ewe is just chock full of muscle. Young lady's done a really good job of keeping her toned up and clean condition. She could handle a lot of competition. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Reese Oliver. She also is your champion natural color ewe. Congratulations. We are now ready for class number 11. Class number 11, we have a single entry in the class, being shown by Maylee Hutchinson, your Southdown ewe lamb, one entry in the class.
Okay, single entry. We only have one Southdown ewe lamb. Really an extended, elongated ewe. She's really good in her front end. Her neck blends really smoothly into her shoulder. Shoulder blends smoothly into her rib. If I could change her, I'd like to pull her apart and give her more muscle shape and more rib shape. But there's a real high quality, structurally correct, stylish individual.
We now have in the arena, we have class number 12, South Down Yearling Ewes. One entry being shown by McCoy Vinsel, and a second entry by Braden Hudoff. 2 entries in the class, and the class is complete.
Yearlings, the young man ewe here is going to win the class. Certainly the biggest chested, stoutest featured ewe. She has the most internal volume and capacity. You get your hands on her. She's wider sprung down her top. Has more width and dimension down her top. She's wider and deeper in her loin. Just more total muscle mass in that regard. The ewe in second is a cleaner conditioned, later maturing ewe. She's a slimmer neck, smoother shoulder ewe. Has the advantage of being more feminine in the front 1/3, but she doesn't have the body volume or depth or muscle mass to compete with the class winner. Congratulations.
We should now be ready to show. Sorry about that. We should now be ready to show for South Down Ewe Lamb. From that class number 11 with a South Down Ewe Lamb, we have Maylee Hutchinson. And from class number 12, the South Down Yearling, the class winner, we have McCoy Vinsel. And standing behind McCoy in second, we will have Braden Hudoff. Showing for champion and reserve champion South Down Ewe.
Really nice pair of class winners here for champion and reserve. And you can do different things. I'm going to use the young lady's ewe lamb. She's a bigger framed, later maturing ewe. Really a more feminine featured ewe. She's slim in her neck. She's flatter and smoother in her shoulder. Really good in her top line. Now, there's no discounting the power and dimension and the muscle expression and the volume and capacity we find in the yearling ewe. Just a little smaller framed ewe. Not quite as much lateness of maturity, but a really, really good structured, high quality ewe that really raise a good weather. Congratulations, both these exhibitors. This is an outstanding pair of ewes.
Congratulations goes to Maylee Hutchinson with her champion South Down Ewe, and standing reserve. Congratulations goes to McCoy Vinsel. We now have class number 13. It's a single entry in the class. Will only be one class of the Tunis ewe lamb, or Tunis ewes. One entry in the class being shown by Megan Wilson.
Okay, we have one Tunis, so she'll be your class winner and your champion. Ewe that's really, really nicely made. Like to have a little more fit on her fleece, either slick shear or cart her out and block her. But a really nicely made Tunis ewe. Could be a little square at her hip and hind leg, but a really good fronted ewe, that really deep, lots of balance and style. We'll see her tonight for champion. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your class winner and also your champion Tunis ewe goes to Megan Wilson. We're now ready for class number 14. Black-faced commercial ewe lambs. One entry in the class. She is a March 2025 lamb. One entry in the class being shown by Leona Fair.
Well, this is the first of 4 classes of Blackface Cross. A real youthful, late maturing ewe, really clean condition. This is the leanest, freshest ewe that's been in the class today. Lots of muscle tone down her top. Like to make her a little longer and level her out over her hip and straighter on her hind leg. But there's a really good ewe to start with. We'll see her again for champion.
That's your class winner. Went to Leona Fair. Leona Fair, your class winner in class 14. We now have class number 15. Class 15, 3 entries in the class, all being born in January of 2025. 3 entries in the class, and your class is complete.
In our second pair, Blackface Cross, close top pair here. I'm going to use the young lady's somewhat stubborn ewe to win the class. She's the thickest, the meatiest, the heaviest muscled, has the most shape and dimension to her rib, handles with the most width and dimension down her top. She's a big-footed, stout-featured ewe, still lots of style and balance. The ewe in second right here, a bigger framed, later maturing ewe, a real stylish, eye-appealing ewe, really elongated in her front, really flat in her shoulder, just really, really level in her top line, but just gets to be a little shallower in her rib cage. Doesn't quite have the overall expression and explosion that we found in the class winner. But that's the kind of ewe I like. I just wish there was a little more to her. And the young lady's ewe that rounds out the class, a real long-bodied ewe, a real firm, fresh handling ewe, just gets to be a little straighter on both ends. Doesn't quite have the overall mass that we found in the top pair. Really nice trio. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Class winner goes to Reagan Connard. Second in the class, Jalen Goodwin. And third in the class, Leona Fair. I now have class number 16. Class number 16. I have 6 entries in the class. 6 entries in the class. They're being shown by Leona Fair, Josie Baines, Reagan Clark, Kyle Vinsel, Griffin Ham, and Madison Burks. 6 entries in the class ranging from 112 to 129 pounds. The barn.
bigger, but there's a big, stout, high volume ewe, lots of natural width and dimension. Do a fist bump. There we go. Real thick, meaty, heavy muscled ewe, and that's why she ends up in third. Young lady's ewe in fourth, gets to be a little bigger framed, a little flatter made, doesn't quite have the overall width, the dimension, and expression that we found up further, but I appreciate her size and scale. I just like to make her more powerful and stouter and more robust. The next pair of ewes get to be a little narrower based, a little flatter muscled, don't quite have the overall rib shape and dimension that we find. The Appaloosa ewe here coming out at the end, really appreciate the overall style and dimension this ewe has. Really stylish, really eye-appealing, just gets to be a little narrower based, a little flatter muscled. Just like to make her a little square out both ends. Congratulations to these 6 exhibitors. That was a really good class.
Congratulations. Class winner goes to Josie Baines. Second in the class, Reagan Clark. Third in the class to Griffin Ham. Fourth in the class to Madison Burks. Fifth in the class, Leona Fair. And sixth in the class to Kyle Vinsel. We now have entering the arena class number 17. Class number 17. These lambs weigh 135 to 159 pounds. 4 entries in the class being shown by Cruz Redden, McCoy Vinsel, Emma Hacker, and Madison Burks. 4 entries in the class, and your class is complete. To welcome and especially thank our queen and her court. We have our queen, Miss Laura Carnegie. We have Molly Zeich with us this evening. Charlie Smith. And Tyler Campbell. Girls do a tremendous job for the Monroe County Fair. We appreciate you girls greatly.
Real nice quartet of ewes here in this class. You could mix them up different ways. I'm going to use the natural fiber dark fleeced ewe here to start the class. I think she's really the stylish, eye-appealing, structurally correct ewe, really good in her pattern and profile, really uniform in her depth of body. Ewe that's got lots of width and dimension, excels the other three in terms of muscle expression and natural thickness. I think she eventually comes with the class. Young man's ewe in second, I think, follows her very closely. Not quite as much depth of rib, not quite as square out over a hind leg, but there's an extraordinarily long swan neck, smooth muscled ewe, or smooth necked ewe. Just like to give her a little more angle to her shoulder, make her a little more nearly square out over her dock. But there's a really good ewe that could raise the weather. Next pair of ewes, bigger framed, later maturing ewes. I've elected to use the longer fleeced ewe because I think she has more. There's just more to her. She's a deeper ribbed, heavier structured, heavier skeleton ewe. Just doesn't quite have as much muscle expression as we found in our class winner. And there we go. The fourth ewe, a fresher, firmer handling ewe, just a ewe that gets to be bigger in her kind and doesn't have the overall depth and width and power and expression to go along with her extra size and frame. But a really nice quartet of ewes. Congratulations to all four of these exhibitors. That was a nice class.
And congratulations, your class winner goes to Cruz Redden. Second in the class to McCoy Vinsel. Third to Emma Hacker. And fourth to Madison Burks. We are now ready for class number 18. Class number 18. Should have 4 entries in this class, 4 entries in the class. 4 entries in the class being shown by Orrin Eganoff, McCoy Vinsel, another entry by McCoy Vinsel, and Brantley Plunkett. 4 entries in the class, and your class is complete. We do need to make sure we have the first and second place animals. First and second place animals from classes 14, 15, 16, and 17. We need you in the makeup arena. After this class, we will be showing for champion blackface commercial ewe.
Come down here. Real nice quartet here to finish up with. The ewe that wins, I think, does so pretty handily. She's the big, stout, strapping ewe that's really good in her top line. She's pulled apart the widest, handles with the most width and dimension down her top. Really wide set in her hips, straight in her hind wheels. Really good in her underline. Lots of volume capacity. She wins pretty handily. Gets to be closer in second and third. The ewe in second is a cleaner conditioned, later maturing, fresher ewe. She handles with more firmness and freshness. She's bigger footed, stouter featured, has more muscle expression. There's no doubt that the ewe in third is a deeper bodied, wider sprung ewe. She more closely follows the pattern of the class winner, but she's a good deal more heavily conditioned, kind of past her prime, just like to peel some extra white meat off of her. And the black fiber ewe here coming out, again, a longer bodied ewe. She's more feminine and slimmer necked and fresher than the ewe just above her, but she doesn't have as much muscle expression nor as much depth of body or flank. Tends to taper a little bit up at her dock, but a really good quartet of ewes. Congratulations to these exhibitors.
Congratulations. Class winner goes to McCoy Vinsel. Second in the class, another entry by McCoy Vinsel. Third in the class to Brantley Plunkett. And fourth in the class to Orrin Aganoff. We're now ready to show for champion and reserve champion black-faced commercial U. From class number 14. From class number 14, we'll have a single entry. We have Leona Fair. From class number 15, in first, we had Reagan Connard. Standing behind Reagan in second, Jalen Goodwin. From class number From class number 16 in first, Josie Baines. Standing behind Josie in second, Reagan Clark. From class 17, Cruz Redden. Standing behind Cruz in second, McCoy Vinsel. And from class 18, standing in first, we have McCoy Vinsel. And standing in second, McCoy Vinsel. Showing for champion black-faced commercial U. Class 19, 20, and 21. Any better out there? Good? Thank you.
Okay, let's have a big hand for these kids. This is an outstanding live. I've talked all 9 of these ewes. I'm not going to go back and talk them again. We've got a lot of sheep to look at. This is really, really an outstanding set of ewes. There are ewes here that could win their class at State Fair next month. So there's 3 ewes that I really, really like. My preference would be, since we pick a top 5 tonight, to go at least 3 deep. I understand that is not allowed, so I apologize. I'm going to shake the hand of the third person anyway, so at least they know. That and a cup at a $5 will get you a cup of coffee at a not very expensive coffee shop. But really, really outstanding. Congratulations to all of them.
Congratulations, Josie Baines, with your champion blackface commercial U. And your reserve champion blackface commercial U goes to Cruz Redden. We should now be ready for class number 19. Class number 19 are white-faced commercial ewe lambs. There will be 3 classes of these animals. This first class will be a single entry being shown by Audrey Bullman. 1 entry in the class. Your class is complete.
We start out our white-face cross with a single entry here. Really nice commercial Katahdin ewe. This is a ewe that's really straight in her line, really long-bodied and extended, really good structured for a breed that's not necessarily known for that. I compliment this young exhibitor. We'll see her back here again for champion. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Your class winner goes to Audrey Bullman. Now ready for class number 20. Class number 20. We'll have 2 entries in the class. First entry being shown by Addison Bueller, and the second entry being shown by Samuel Baines. Class number 20, 2 entries in the class, and your class is complete.
Nice pair of ewes here in our second whiteface ewe lamb class. The ewe that starts, I think, is just overwhelming and overpowering. She's really the most three-dimensional, certainly the stoutest featured, most eye-appealing ewe. Really, really big, massive rib cage, tremendously thick down her top, square in her hip and good in her hind leg. Lots of brood ewe potential here. And in addition to that, she handles really, really nicely. The ewe in second doesn't quite have the overall mass and power that we found in the class winner. Gets to be a little more set to her hind leg, but a really, really fresh fronted ewe, really clean condition, firm handling. She fits into second pretty handily. Congratulations to these 2 exhibitors.
Congratulations. Class winner goes to Samuel Baines. And second in the class to Addison Bueller. We are now ready for class number 21. Class 21 will be a single entry being shown by Carly Naylor. 1 entry in the class, and your class is complete.
And we wind out with a single entry yearling, a big stout ewe, really good in her shoulder, really level as she comes back, really long in her hind saddle, square out over her top. Like to make her a little bit deeper rib perhaps and make her a little straighter off her, at her hock. But there's a real stylish, eye-appealing ewe that's got a lot of potential. Congratulations.
Congratulations, class winner goes to Carly Naylor. We're now ready to return for class 19-20 and keep 21. We're showing for champion white-faced commercial ewe. From class number 19, standing in first, we had Audrey Bullman. From class number 20 in first, Samuel Baines. Standing behind Samuel in second, we had Addison Bueller. And from class 21, that last class, we have Carly Naylor, showing for champion, reserve champion, white-faced commercial ewe.
Real nice quartet here as we show for champion white-faced commercial U. The champion is going to be the winner of Class 2. Really the three-dimensional robust U, the stout featured U with a lot of natural width and dimension. She's also the most structurally correct. For reserve, we're going to go to the yearling U, big stout lean-bodied U, really good as her neck blends into her shoulders. She fits into reserve quite nicely. The second place U here, really good U, really clean condition, firm, fresh handling U. Like to make her a little square from hock to ground, and a really nice commercial Katahdin U here, a really long-bodied extended U, really level in her top line. She fits into fourth. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your champion white-faced commercial U. Champion white-faced commercial U went to Samuel Baines. And your reserve champion white-faced commercial U, Carly Naylor. Our next class will be Class 23. Class 23, ewe and lamb. A ewe and lamb. We should have 2 entries in the class, 2 entries in the class. First entry being shown by Maylee Hutchinson. And the second entry being shown by Orrin Eggenolf. Showing for champion and reserve champion ewe and lamb. This will be a ewe and her offspring. A ewe and her offspring. 2 entries in the class, and your class is complete.
Okay, really nice concept here, showing bringing a ewe back with her lamb. We're going to leave them stand just the way they are. I'm going to start with the big, really long-bodied Suffolk ewe here, really long and extended. Does a really nice job here raising this ewe lamb. And the black fibered ewe here in second. Certainly, again, the ewe that follows her really well. Not as much big size and scale as we found in the class winner. And lamb doesn't quite have the overall width of muscle expression, but really nice pair for champion and reserve. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Your champion ewe and lamb goes to Maylee Hutchinson. And your reserve champion to Orrin Eggenolf. We're now showing class 25, pair of yearlings, one entry in the class being shown by McCoy Vinsel. Pair of yearling ewes.
Okay, we only have one pair. Want to congratulate and compliment this exhibitor for bringing out not one but two yearlings. Wish they were just a little bit more uniform, but really a pair of structurally correct, big, stout-featured, naturally thick-made, heavy-muscled ewes that could sure stand a lot more competition. They will be your champion. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your champion pair of yearlings goes to McCoy Vinsel. We are now ready to step into the Supreme U competition. We will be showing for Supreme, Reserve Supreme, 3rd overall, 4th overall, and 5th overall. If I could bring each of my breed champions, and then we will bring the reserves behind them, if that would work. Champion Dorper, Cheyenne Lions, Champion Hampshire, Reagan Clark, Champion Cathodden, Kendall Zyke, Champion Natural Color, Reese Oliver, Champion Southdown, Bailey Hutchinson, Champion Tunis, Megan Wilson, Champion Black-Faced, Josie Baines, Champion White-Faced, Samuel Baines. Then we will bring in our reserves, our Champion Hampshire, Leah Stengel, our Champion Cathodden, Kendall Zyke, our Champion Southdown, McCoy Vinsel, our Champion Black-Faced, Cruz Redden, and our Champion White-Faced, Carly Naylor. Let's put our hands together for all these young people. They've done a tremendous job showing these animals this evening. Showing for Supreme U 2025 Monroe County 4-H Fair. Would like to this time thank and remind everybody, EK Brand Photography, she's right out there at the gate in the corner. That family spends tons of hours here this week. They have taken no telling how many pictures and will continue to take pictures at every show. And this family's good enough, they allow us to look these up on EK Brand Photography. We can look those up. And we can download those for free and make copies as we please. Also, would like to thank Mr. Ryan Holmes. Mr. Ryan Holmes is streaming all these shows online, and they can be found at Facebook, Monroe County 4-H, Purdue Extension, or you can go to YouTube, Monroe County 4-H Youth Development. These are both past 4-Hers, and they're devoting their week to us, and we appreciate them greatly. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Your Supreme U 2025 goes to Samuel Baines. Reserve Grand Champion to Josie Baines. Third overall to Cruz Redden. Fourth overall to Reese Oliver. And fifth overall to Reagan Clark. We're now going to take a 15-minute break so these winners can get their pictures taken. And we will start back at, let's start back at 5:45. 5:45 we'll start back. And that will start our market show.